We've had enough of this nonsense. We've had enough of this nonsense.
Welcome to the indoor picnic.
I'm really happy today. I've got we've got a great show planned for you today. Please welcome the hosts of the indoor picnic, Jay and Shane.
Hi.
I'm getting better.
Welcome back.
Is that usually how you start?
Not usually, but that's the best one I've ever done.
That you call that the best one?
Yeah.
All right.
Welcome.
Best take.
Welcome.
I'm just resetting my expectations.
Yeah. You need to
Don't
drop
expect
them.
much,
You
yeah.
need to drop them down sufficiently.
Yeah.
Anytime anyone comes on the show, they need to immediately lower their expectations. I think that we've had guests on here that are like excited about like I'm really excited just to have some conversations and like get what I'm working on out and like really just share with the world my thoughts and then the show happens.
And Jay mentions how much he hates turtles. And
I don't hate turtles.
Well,
okay.
Do you want
for the
address,
record,
do you want to address that?
I'm going to address
prepared
that.
a statement for that,
Yeah,
right?
I prepared a statement. I would like to formally apologize for my comments about turtles last week. I think that turtles are the most important thing that is going on right now.
yeah, this is bullshit.
No, and I would like to apologize on my behalf and my foundation for turtles and two turtles. I'm sorry for them.
Your Turtle Foundation. What is
And
that
I'm
called?
sorry
Where can we
about
donate?
no. It's
Oh,
my,
this is the name he's still
no,
naming.
my foundation has nothing to do with just like the ground I'm standing
Okay.
on. We're all really sorry.
I will say we had an idea earlier when we were leaving Guitar Center. We were going to buy a turtle.
Really?
The reptile store is down the street.
Yeah,
But then I
that'd be
realized I don't want to have a turtle at the end
No,
of
you
this.
don't want to have a turtle. My nephew,
Not that I don't like turtles. I just don't want to take care of one.
My nephew has a turtle, and let me tell you, his room smells like shit. And I think maybe he doesn't clean it or whatever, but it smells fucking bad.
Like a turtle.
Yeah, turtles smell bad.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah.
Now he's back to bashing.
You're just that was.
Turtles smell bad.
You just went right back to it.
They also look kind of bad too.
Yeah, he's back
You just
to
dug that
bashing
hole and
turtles.
just hopped right back in.
Yes,
I
he
would
did.
like to apologize for my comments about turtles. I don't feel that way about turtles. I've never felt that way about turtles, and I would never throw. I've never thrown a turtle. I would never throw a turtle.
I did.
I'm sorry.
Someone texted me and said, "Don't let that monster touch a turtle."
I've never touched a turtle. I've never touched a turtle. We're talking about.
Now I think you're being too defensive. Now
No,
it's suspicious.
Yeah, now it seems like a cop out.
I
And I feel like you beat.
did
turtles.
not have any relationship ever with a turtle. I've never had any.
You know,
that's
you know
good.
how people pull over and help turtles cross the road?
Yeah.
I think Jay purposely guns it out.
No,
You
dude.
smash those turtles.
Dude, that would be a splat, though. I mean, like with a little crunch and a little goo. That's the thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like when there's some of them are just goo and some of them are just crunch, but a turtle I think is like the perfect mix of.
There it is. We're back. We're back to
I
him.
didn't know your 97 Corolla could do that much damage.
I love turtles, and I think that they're important to the ecosystem. I think that without turtles, everything collapses. The whole society. Plants don't get pollen or some shit.
I
They're
think they should make podcast equipment more expensive.
We got a new board. Shane bought a.
Brand new board, and it's
Speaking of
New board.
expensive,
It sounds crisp.
it sounds good. Yeah,
Nice
sorry
and-
for last week.
Who's our?
Probably. I think you were having issues with my mic.
Yeah,
Last
it
week.
was clippy
fine.
and choppy.
I'm off the headphone game. Those watching at home, I'm not wearing headphones anymore.
He just wants
I
to show off
found-
his elf ears.
My elf. No.
Enough.
All right, fine,
Enough
I'll put
about
mine
you.
No,
Enough about
your
you.
ears are fine.
He just
You're
wants to
not
show
elfish.
off his elf ears.
Jay, enough about you. Who's our guest?
on. Yeah. Who's our
Oh,
guest?
am I?
Welcome to.
Oh, there it is. Wow,
Welcome to the.
that only
no,
took
the reason we were talking about me was
we
because
wanted to
I was
address that at the
explaining
top.
about
Right.
how
And you're
you
still
need
talking.
to lower your expectations about this next hour because
Expectation.
Exportations.
lower the exportations.
Yeah, I won't be exporting anything.
Introduce yourself and tell us all about you.
Oh wow,
You have to do all the work.
that's
'cause
such.
Jay,
Oh yeah, that's
Jay doesn't like
Tell
to
us
do
what
work.
you want to
just tell,
talk
yeah,
about.
just tell us. Well, I mean,
Begin.
I could talk about anything, which is basically what podcasts are, right?
Yes.
I'm Danny Roth. I've been playing music in the local music scene since the early aughties.
Nice.
The early OOs.
Nice.
And I don't know. I think that's just like this is how I met Cal. That's how I met a lot of my friends. I used to play in bands with all of the old legends. Vanna, The Receiving End of Sirens, Therefore I Am. Ever heard of them?
Fuck yeah! I was actually on a Vanna kick yesterday at the gym.
Yeah, and they're actually their guitarist Nick Adam Tattoo. He did my tattoos, and they're very nice. Shout out Nick Adam Tattoo.
Shout out Nick Adam Tattoo.
Very nice. You did them all?
Yeah, he did them all. Yeah, he's the only one I trust, basically, because I've been through some shit, boys.
Yeah.
I've been through some shit. I have a heart transplant.
No way.
So yeah, I've got another engine in my body, and so I say that in relation to tattoos because I have to be super careful. You know, I can't just go to a random person who's going to give me some hepatitis, and or give me some sort of infection. So Nick does a great job with like my aftercare, and he kind of really set me straight and saying like, hey, this is like a super pro thing. It's not like it was back in the day in the sketchy back alley or something.
Yep.
That's actually where I met Cal.
Yes.
Yeah.
What a night that was.
Oh, it was lovely. It was really lovely. You were great that night. I appreciate you. So yeah, man. I guess I can talk about that shit that happened to me because it definitely really made me who I am, and also in a lot of ways contributed to me still being a musician because I was in college, kind of still trying to play music, but I was in college. I was trying to do college things, and in 2008, it was actually about 2025 minus 2008, 17? No.
That's when I graduated
8
high
years
school.
ago? Yeah, that was 17.
17 years ago? Wow, that's fucking crazy.
Wait, 7 or 17?
2000. What's
8.
25 minus 8?
He said 2008. That's what he said.
Oh, that's
I'm not doing that math.
17,
I
that's
refuse.
17
I
years.
refuse to do that.
That's when I graduated
And then you
high
crush 8 turtles.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
many turtles do you have?
Yeah,
left?
you have
After-
to think about it in turtles.
turtle math.
Yeah, the chart math. So yeah, I was 20 and I was in college having a lot of fun, as you do. Maybe a little bit too much
Cocaine?
fun. Yeah, man.
That'll get you the heart.
Yeah, that'll get you.
That'll do it.
That'll pump.
Yeah, that's
That'll
one of the
pump
things
your
that did it. But yeah, so I was home on winter break, and I was feeling a little bit crummy. Ended up just rolling out of bed onto the floor, and I had a stroke.
Oh my god.
I stroked out. And
Do you remember it?
Oh yeah, I do remember. Actually, something I remember pretty vividly is I fell on a glass of water, and the glass shattered underneath me, and it cut me up, and I did not feel that.
Oh, and do you remember thinking like it's surprising I didn't feel that?
Oh yeah. I was like, something's weird. So at first I thought I slept funny because you have the numbness.
Yeah,
so
on one half. Did you have half of your body numb? Is that how?
Yeah, half of my body was numb.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
it kind of felt like the whole thing was. So yeah, at any rate, half of my body ended up being pretty numb, and I was home alone. Because I think my parents were out of town. They were on their way back home, and I called them, and I started talking to them. I said something happened. I feel weird, or I thought I said that.
Yeah.
And then like soon after, an ambulance showed up, and along with my aunt, and she was like, "Your mom called me. When you were talking to her, you weren't making any sense. You were just like all jarbled and shit. I thought I was fine.
Whoa.
I thought I was all good. So I clipping, clip test, clip, clippy,
You're
clip.
good, yeah.
Cool.
They'll fix it.
Yeah, so I was having a stroke, and I remember my aunt showing up, ambulance got lost coming to my place, cop showed up, barged into my house and started looking around for drugs, and my aunt kicked him out. For a long time I got pissed about that,
Yeah.
but I was like, you know what? He probably, like, young kid having some sort of medical emergency, maybe he was just like seeing if there was drug paraphernalia around, so like maybe he had to Narcan me. Like maybe he was trying to help me.
Probably, yeah. You're like, I don't consent to searches, but it just came out like,
I was like, so
Search this house top and bottom.
yeah, search it all over. And I think so.
Sorry, I don't mean to.
No, this is what it's about. Oh, and I had actually seen my doctor like a week before, saying like, "Hey, I feel like crap," and they took my heart rate and it was like 180 beats per minute, and they were like, "Hey, did you do cocaine before you came in?" I was like, "No, not before I came in. No."
How long before you asking?
yeah. Like, what is
Before I walked in,
Like,
or-
yeah. So
I've done cocaine before I came here today.
yeah. Probably off an old turtle shell, right? Yeah. And so at any rate, they were like, "Hey, you're beating real fast." And I said, "I don't know. I get nervous around doctors." They're like, "Okay, you're probably just nervous." 180 beats per minute. But so they said, "Oh, you probably have acid reflux."
Malpractice.
Take some. Yeah, it probably could have gone that way. I'm not one to. I probably should have. I should have. It was the statute has passed. The statute has passed.
Heartburn.
Yeah. So that you probably have heartburn, or so like take this antacid over the weekend, and if it still hurts, come back and we'll like do an ultrasound on your gallbladder. But
Maybe
I mean,
that gets them out. Every time they say it, it's like if you fucking die though, just come
yeah,
back.
yeah.
That's how they cover themselves.
Because that Sunday I had that stroke. So I had the stroke.
Oh.
I went to the hospital. The hospital said, "You got to go into a fancy hospital in Boston." And they said, "Yeah, so you have a heart, like an enlarged heart, and come to find out it's actually a familial disease, and you need a heart transplant." And I was like, "Oh shit!" So they loaded me up with a bunch of drugs and all that, and I was in the hospital for a while, and they sent me on my way.
Can I ask questions before?
Ask questions before, during, and after.
From Jarbletown
Jarble.
did you stop Jarbles?
Yeah. That's a really good question. I missed that. So after I jarbled, I kind of recovered essentially. Like I got
like it passed?
I stopped having the stroke.
So you were just like in the stroke, and then you got out of it.
Yeah.
And then you were like, "Well, that was fucking bad."
Yeah, that was something's going on.
Okay.
Oh, that was crazy.
Yeah, but then I kind of started like I was essentially having like mini strokes, and they kept on happening until I got treatment. And so, but like these mini strokes were on their way to a big stroke. So thankfully, I got the help I needed before it got super bad. But I still had a stroke.
So a stroke is basically like a chungus traveling into your brain, right?
Yes, yeah,
Chungus.
yeah. No, that's the medical term. Chungus, chungus, yeah.
Did you know that, Shane?
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Chungus.
yeah. The chungi are pretty.
It comes from your heart.
So this one, so what was happening was my heart wasn't beating well, and it wasn't beating strongly, and so blood pooled in my heart, formed a chungus,
right?
And that chungus shot to my brain.
Okay.
So there's a couple different ways you can have a stroke. It can be because of chungus, or it can be actually something with your brain.
Oh.
So mine was the heart chungus.
Yeah.
So,
you could also shoot too much cocaine into your foot, and then
for sure.
And then like the chungus,
Yeah.
like the cut. If you're shooting too much coke, they put the cut in it, and then the cut goes in your brain.
Noted.
You could have cut
Noted.
chungus.
That's okay. Thanks, yeah. I'm going to be doing
I know
cocaine
someone.
tonight
I just
for the first time ever.
That
So I
was
need
like
to
my
know.
plan
someone.
for tonight too. So I'm gonna.
No, I'm just saying if you're gonna
Great.
shoot cocaine,
I was going tonight, but
make sure it's clean.
Yeah, that's you hear that,
That's
kids?
my PSA.
Yeah,
yeah.
the more you know.
Go
Your
on.
cocaine
Sorry.
is clean.
So you passed it, and then you got to the hospital.
Got to the hospital. It kind of
Large
started
heart.
happening again. So they were like, "Hey, you got to go into Boston." Very lucky to have grown up in the Boston area because those hospitals are great and the doctors there are awesome.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Norwood.
Oh, no.
I was born in Vermont. But as you can tell by my Boston accent, I actually I spent most of my time down here.
Vermont's beautiful though.
Vermont is beautiful. It's a great state. It's been burned up by.
But if this had happened in Vermont, you'd be fucked.
Yeah. So there have been a lot of lucky parts of this, and it took me a long time to realize that I was lucky. The college that I was going to, which I didn't make it through, they had a uniquely long winter break, and all my friends were already back in college, and I was I had actually been planning on going to the University of Vermont. I ended up going to a place in Rhode Island. And had this happened, good point, Shane. Had this happened, this would have happened at a college, and I would have just been like, oh, I would have totally like not taken it seriously, or even if I had taken it seriously, it would have been like
Your friends probably wouldn't have taken it seriously.
no,
Dude, you fucking got it.
you're fucking
Little hair of the dog. Here you go.
because I was like I was a bit of a hypochondriac, you know. I was like for sure.
Did you not graduate because of the condition? Or
Yeah,
did you...
so I kept on trying to go back after I got sick, and it just
a scholar
didn't work out. Yeah, I tried to be that, but I was ultimately unsuccessful at that.
It's fine.
Yeah. So I was rushed to the hospital. They diagnosed me. They said you need a heart transplant.
Did they say that you need it immediately, or like?
No, they were like, we're gonna put you on the list for one.
Did you see the list?
Do I see the list?
Did you see the list?
Did I see the list? No, you don't get to look at that.
Do you think they just put it up in front of you? Here you go, you're right here.
No, but do
you're
you
right
know?
here, but Mike up
Do I
here.
know what place I am in the list? So
Is it like an app?
no,
I'm 20th. What the fuck?
Yeah.
We're looking for an Uber.
Yeah, this podcast is sponsored by Apple apps.
All of them.
Just apps.
All of the apps. Yeah.
Specifically, Heart Counter, Transplant Counter.
Yeah.
Download Transplant Counter in the App Store.
Yeah. So
20% off your next.
So I was kind of like in the middle section of
You could subscribe to get bumped up 3 places. Sorry.
Yeah, for sure, yeah, and of course, like,
But you didn't know what place you were in.
I didn't know what place I was in.
Do you think? Let me ask you this because I've always wondered this. Do you think the list actually exists, or do you think it's just people, and then like Big Daddy comes in and fucking thumbs out a couple C notes and bumps his daughter up a little bit?
So
Who the fuck's Big Daddy?
That's one with a daughter who needs a heart. He's got fucking.
Oh, I thought you guys were talking about Cal.
That's Veruca Salt's dad.
Oh.
I want a heart
Big Daddy.
transplant now.
Don't care how. Do you think that's a thing, or do you think you had a fair and just list?
I believe the list in the United States is fair and just, based on need, and also criteria that you can fit the list.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have recently joined a charitable organization that helps people get listed for a heart transplant, because you actually do need to pass a set of criteria financially and socially. So essentially, if you don't make enough money, if your insurance plan won't cover a heart, you're not getting one.
So we have a good person on our show. That's good. Well, you got a good guy.
And also you have to pass essentially like a social back. You need to have a support system. You need to have family and friends that can help you through the recovery.
How many followers does this motherfucker got online?
So that's even to get on the list?
Yes. Before you get on the list, they basically you have.
That's actually fucking wild.
It's nuts.
It's nuts. Fucked up, actually.
It is
so
very. So
you don't have any
it's very
friends?
fucked up.
Sorry, you're gonna die.
Yes.
Nobody's gonna care if you die.
So people
Listen here, buddy. You're a loser.
you
don't have any friends.
Yeah, you got nothing, so you die.
You got nothing. You get no heart. You got it? Capiche? Capiche?
But
you win nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
I said good day.
Get the fuck out of my hospital.
Wow.
That's fucking wild.
It's nuts, man. So I am part of an organization that was actually founded by a doctor at Brigham and Women's Hospital in Boston, and she essentially we find those people who are either financial or socially isolated from being able to get this type of treatment, life-saving treatment, and we get them support systems that they
financial, like poor.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like you could be too poor to not get a heart.
Yep.
How much do you need to make? Do you know roughly?
So it's really about like if your insurance covers it.
Oh.
So, but I will say I had really great insurance. I worked for a hospital when I had this happen.
And you were going to college?
No, I had stopped going to college.
Also, this is like you stopped going to college.
Should probably get back to the.
No. So I'll keep you on track.
Cool.
So you got on the list, dropped out of school.
I dropped out of school because I got super sick. Got on the list. Oh, I actually did try to go back to school.
And they said, no, you're not financially stable enough.
Well, interestingly enough, so I was a pretty good student. I got a cool, amount of money to go to this school for academics.
Smart guy.
Used to be. They've run a lot of drugs since then. But basically, I did go back full-time student. Didn't work. I went back part-time, and they said, hey, you can come back, but we're not going to honor any of your scholarships anymore because you're not a full-time student.
Oh, the man's always trying to fuck you.
Yeah,
trying to fuck you.
Yeah, they're always trying to fuck you. And I kind of did get fucked. I actually took the first student loans I had to take out were for when I went to school part-time. Yeah. And I took out like 20 grand for 3 classes. And there's then began my student loan debt.
You still paying those off?
No, I got those covered.
You should have said those belong to the old Heart.
Oh damn! Damn!
Read section B.
My new heart's not in this one.
Where was this podcast in 2009, man? I needed you guys then.
We were out stomping turtles.
I was passed out on a kitchen floor.
Stomping turdies. So yes. So it is really hard to get qualified for a heart transplant if you are financially broke.
Right. Insurance.
And so I mean,
socially,
they
and
don't
then the
sell hearts
socials
at the
too.
Dollar General.
Tell me some about the social difficulties. Like,
yeah.
What are they?
Yeah. Sure. So first of all, I mean, this is a story that was shared. That it's totally anonymous. But when I was talking to the founder of this organization, she said, I had a guy in the central U.S. in a remote part of the state, in the Midwest, and he had been discharged from the Army, and he had no family. He was dishonorably discharged. I don't know why, but he had no family, and because he was
What the fuck?
Ba-dum-bum. And because he was, he lived in like a mobile home somewhere in the Midwest with really nobody around him, he didn't qualify because he literally just had nobody. And to tell you, kind of give you like the other side of things, like after you get a heart transplant, you're like glass, right? You have a very suppressed immune system. You kind of need people to help you care for yourself. You need people around you. You need to help. You cannot drive, so you have to, and you're going to the doctor every day for those first couple weeks you're out of the hospital. Yeah. And you just really need people. Not like a massive, team, but you need like a couple folks who are like, I can take time to do this for this person. And when you don't have that, you can get fucked. Mm-hmm. So it's really hard to get a transplant, and also there's like this stigma that like only wealthy white people can get organs, and poor people are essentially organ machines for people.
They provide,
yeah. And so a part of the organization I'm doing really seeks to like kill that, because it's harmful, but it's also just like, hey, there are a lot of people in poor segments who are not white. Right. So there's also again, there's like these stigmas that go along with like, oh, you're a rich white person, yeah, of course you could get access to really good care, because the health system, our healthcare does discriminate. If you do very well, you can afford really good health insurance. If you don't, you don't, and if you don't have good health insurance, you better not get sick. Yeah. So anyway,
so you take rich white people's hearts.
Oh yeah, exclusively.
I am down for this.
Oh,
Let's join this cause.
Oh yeah,
let's find the richest white people and steal their hearts.
Oh, for sure.
While they're still pumping.
Oh yeah, buddy. Yeah, we'll do that.
Supple hearts.
They're really tasty. Yeah, because they pump themselves with adrenochrome. Yeah,
that's the good stuff.
That's the good stuff.
My question is, do you know whose heart you got?
Yeah, good question.
Wait, no, I'm not there yet.
Okay,
we didn't even get the heart.
Right.
I want to know before you got.
Sorry, Shane.
How long were you?
I was totally ready
to
answer
put that on the
that.
back burner. Shut up and put that on the back burner.
How long were you on the list for?
Oh, good question. I was on the list for.
Where we're at.
I was on the list for about. Actually, I was on the list for 10 years.
Whoa.
Stuff has happened. Well, I need to kind of continue laying this out for you guys, though, because there's other parts of this, and there's a reason why I was on the list for so long. So a couple years go by, and I'm now working full time. I'm actually touring with the band a little bit. I actually came up playing in Webster. My friend's band that I was in for a decade was in Webster, so not too far from here. couple years. I'm doing all right. Able to kind of live a life, some kind of life.
Had, like, mini strokes in between?
No. I mean, like, I do, like, end up winding back in the hospital for complications pretty frequently, but nothing, like, super scary until I get a stomach bug. And it's a bad one. It's like norovirus or something. And I start throwing up a lot. And I keep on throwing up, and I can't keep any food down. I can't keep my meds down. And so I'm obviously had to move back home with my parents. And so I'm thrown up in the middle of the night one night. My mom knocks on the door, asks me how I'm doing. And she looks at me, she's like, I'm taking you to the hospital. I said, nah, I don't want to do that. And she said, we're going right now. And I said, let me go back to sleep, because then we'll go first thing in the morning. She's like, no, we're going right now. So she wins, and we drive to the hospital. And I'm not in the hospital for in the hospital for 5-10 minutes, and I flatline. I die.
Jesus Christ.
I code. And
Moms know.
yeah. So okay, she knew, but she also read. So she comes from a medical field. She read somewhere that if your breath smells like ammonia, that's kidney failure.
Oh.
Some super random bit of information just stuck with her, and she's like, "Your breath smelled like ammonia."
And now I know.
Yeah.
Never heard of it in my life.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So she's like, so obviously I was in some sort of organ failure. I was dying.
Cocaine smells like ammonia, kind of.
Yeah, it sure does, buddy.
What a connection.
Yeah, you got that right. It's a great connection, great callback. This is an awesome podcast. Love the continuity.
Cocaine and hearts, baby.
Yeah.
New band name.
So she smelled it.
So she
didn't just have like a mother's intuition.
No.
She was
She's like, I smell death on you, boy. And
so your kidneys were failing?
Everything was failing, starting with my kidneys, and my body was just shutting down.
Oh god.
So they did the whole thing with the paddles and like the chest compressions and all that.
Yeah.
They broke my sternum, you know. And also, come to find out, you know how in the movies that more often than not works.
Yeah.
In real life, it doesn't.
Yeah, right.
Because my best friend was working in the emergency room that I was just rushed into, and so everybody the next day was saying like, "Hey, we brought somebody back. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like, we don't bring people back. This isn't a thing that happens." So they brought me back. I'm alive and talking.
How old are you at this time?
I am now 22.
Oh damn.
Yeah. 22. And so
How old are you right now?
37.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. And so they rushed me up to the ICU. I'm now really kind of clinging to life. My heart is very weak. And I'm also still sick, right? So
You're not good.
I'm not good. Things are not looking good. Yeah. So they basically say, hey, you need a heart transplant right now. And bad news is we don't have one for you available, because the list for a heart transplant is quite long, especially in this area of the country.
You've been waiting 10 years.
Yeah. So at the time, I'd only been waiting a couple years.
Oh.
But they were still like, no, we don't got one for you. And even if we did, don't think you'd survive it.
Oh.
Because you were weak.
Because what we're highlighting here is the list.
The list.
Because it's like, you're on the list.
I'm on the
list.
list.
You need one now.
Yeah.
We don't have one. What if we did? We're not going to waste it. But what if they did have it? Would you bump up? Would they give it to you?
So you're kind of like, you get bumped up or bumped down to various areas on the list depending on how bad you need one.
That's
and how long you're
so the
waiting.
list is fluid, and it's kind of bullshit.
It is fluid, and
Right.
it can be kind of bullshit.
Squeaky wheel.
Yeah. So like for sure, if I get sicker, I get moved up to the towards the upper part. And so
Interesting.
So this nurse comes in and she says, "Hey, I'm this nurse." That's what she said to me.
Cool.
She didn't have a name.
It's a solid name.
I'm going to talk to you about a robotic heart, and hopefully you don't need this. Hopefully this is the last time we meet, but you might
a robot heart lady, and she didn't have a name.
No. She was a robot.
She's a robot.
Oh
Yeah.
my god,
She's a robot.
she's
a robot.
crazy.
Here's your heart. Here's your heart.
Join us.
Do you know her? That was crazy. That's such a good impression, Shane.
He knows her.
Met her 3 days ago.
He ordered her online. He uses her for something else though.
She's in the closet.
Ew.
She's pumping away.
Oh.
You got the double pump.
The battery doesn't last long.
Oh wow.
She's a little sticky.
That's great.
Go on.
Yeah.
I cleaned her.
Yeah, Shane seems like he keeps a tidy home. So come to find it, one thing leads to another, and they say, hey, we need to put a robotic heart pump inside your body, and so they did that. I had open heart surgery, I got the big scar, and they put essentially it doesn't replace. It's not a heart. That's not a thing that replaces your heart. It's a motor that they stick to the bottom of your heart. They core out the bottom of your heart. They put this motor up there, and that takes over the pumping functions.
Like a generator.
I'm looking at what it looks like. That was the name of the sandwich you just ate.
Yeah,
Oh wow,
the
The generator.
Generator.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
no, this is robotic heart. Like, is there another name for this? Because I'm getting like
LVAD. It's
serial number? Does it get a serial number?
LVAD. I want to see what it looks like. Left ventricle.
Yeah, left ventricular assist device. Yeah, there it is. That's what they put on me.
What is it? Oh wow!
Show the class. Show the class.
Dude, he's got like a little little work from home headset.
Yeah. It's so they put that in me.
Great. Look at that quality right there.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
Keep going.
You do a good job, Kel. Thanks, buddy.
Oh, it's like a bracket.
Yeah, that's all. It's a bracket. Yeah, it's just nothing.
It's like a thermocouple.
Yeah. So it basically just like takes over
Plumber
the pumping
talk.
of the heart. Yeah, Plumber Talk. This episode is sponsored by Shane? What's your plumbing company?
I'm not mentioning
American Plumbers.
All right. All right.
American Plumber Association.
APA.
So I had that for 9 years, and through that 9 years, things started to get rough for me. I started to do worse. I gained a lot of weight. I gained so much weight that they had to take me off the transplant list. Then I lost it all.
Also, weight is a factor to be on the list too.
So here's the question: how big were you when this first happened?
Oh yeah, so I was like 200 pounds, which for me, I'm a bulky guy, and so 200 pounds was I looked pretty slim with 200 pounds on me, and I think my heaviest was like 380. So I gained a lot of weight, and I sized out of the transplant list, and then I lost it, and I got back on. And I ended up getting on a different transplant list down in New Jersey because at the time they were processing organs way faster than up here in Boston.
Processing organs faster.
Yeah.
meaning-
So
A lot of dying people.
Yes. So basically,
Jersey.
if you think about it, it's Jersey. No, Jersey's great. This episode is
They automated down there.
This episode's brought to you by the state of New Jersey.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
For
Thank
your
you,
smell.
Thank you for your because they're processing more.
Right.
Oh,
right.
it makes
Yeah,
sense.
that the stink is from the hearts.
Yeah.
But basically, Boston is like the medical capital of the United States. So they have a bunch of people coming up here for the like really
Receiving.
awesome care receiving. So they inflate the list of people who need it. But it's just one bank. Everyone's making withdrawals from the same bank.
Right.
But if you go to different parts of the country where there isn't that like high concentration of people seeking care, you can actually there's other pockets of where like the regions of the list used to be, where like you could get an organ faster. So I was able, because I grew up in Southern Mass and lived in Southern Mass, I was within 4 hours from Newark, New Jersey, where I got the transplant.
Oh, so you got a Jersey heart.
Got a Jersey heart.
Jersey boy.
Yeah, actually the heart. So going back to your
Family
question,
feast.
Shane.
Gabagool, eh?
So the heart is our heart actually came from Maryland. Actually, that's this tattoo is this is a Black Eyed Susan, which is the state flower of Maryland, and this is a American Goldfinch, which is a state bird.
Beautiful bird.
Yeah, it's a beautiful bird, a state bird of New Jersey. So
Honestly, a great
its
tattoo
talons,
idea,
it has,
too.
Oh yeah, Nick Adam tattoo. This episode is sponsored by Ink. So I got the transplant in 2017. I literally have to do that to check because time is a flat circle.
The Earth is flat too.
Yeah, it's totally flat, you guys.
Space doesn't exist either.
No.
So you got a Maryland heart.
Yeah.
So did you just find this loophole, or you just like, I just go like out of state?
No, so this is okay. So going back to also how I was actually very privileged because I had to work for a company that let me take trips down to New Jersey pretty frequently. So this isn't a loophole. This is just something that like if you live close enough to another like region on the transplant list, you can get listed on that one too.
Right, but
As long as you're,
if it's like life or death, move, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people
Where's
move
the-
like
I
there's
wouldn't-
like
it should just be just a one list. So
So-
like, because
You
I
gotta
mean, like,
bring him. You ever see Rat Race?
but yeah, but you can fly to a different fucking state.
Yeah. So
They gotta get the heart.
so the heart.
So fly to the heart.
Historically, organs can only last about 4 hours when they leave the body.
Didn't know that,
historically.
I did not know that. No.
I actually just saw. I
It's a race.
just talked to my doctors, and they said that restriction is no longer because they have done like a lot of work in being able to preserve organs when they're outside of the body. So now people can get organs from the West Coast. So things have changed a lot since I got my transplant.
Yeah, see, I knew none of that.
Yeah.
I thought like you just put it on ice and it's good.
They go the
Unfortunately
Oregon
not.
Trail.
Jesus.
Oh, I'm gonna use that, and I'm gonna take credit
Fort
for
the river.
Jesus
it.
Christ.
Oregon Trail.
So
Beautiful.
how did you know?
Hey Jay, real quick. Fuck you.
That's a good one. How did you know you got the heart? How did you know?
Oh yeah, so
Did you get a beeper?
So they used to give beepers, but now they have smartphones, so they just gave me a call.
Just for the phone? You had a heart phone?
Oh no, they just have a
called your
phone number.
phone. Oh,
yeah.
all right.
But some people who like live like it doesn't really. I mean, cell phones are pretty much everywhere. But
Did you ever see the movie Awake?
I did.
Yeah, that was about a guy who
Yeah.
had a heart transplant.
Yeah.
He had a beeper.
Yeah.
So his beeper went
Yeah.
off. Why I
Yeah.
asked.
Yeah.
I am aware of technology.
But
And then he was awake during the whole surgery, and like Jessica Alba was trying to steal it or something. She's trying to kill him.
She's
That didn't
trying to
happen.
scoop it. That thankfully that as far as I know, that didn't
Yeah.
happen.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there was another awesome heart transplant movie. Wasn't it like it was a cop who arrested like a gangbanger, and that gangbanger died.
Oh, and he got the
He
heart.
got the
inside,
heart, and the
he
gangbanger
turned-
started like haunting him.
Yeah. I didn't see that movie. I
Fucking
read.
movie was that?
I read the description. I said, "Oh, this sounds stupid."
Yeah,
and I
it
didn't
was-
watch it.
it was dumb.
You know who
I
watched
saw it
it?
years
It's
ago.
fucking Cal watched
Yeah,
it.
Cal,
He
what,
would know.
do you know that movie that we're talking about?
Say the reference.
So I think it was Danny DeVito. It might not have been, but it was a movie. It was like a movie. It was like a movie.
Okay.
It was like a movie.
Sure.
But
You
was
know
it a-
movies?
So the heart, he's
Was it
skipping.
a movie?
So the heart, he got a heart transplant from like a gangbanger, and then it like took his soul over. And he
Hold on,
was-
is this a TV?
Oh wait, no. I don't think this was a movie. I think this was the plot of a movie in a movie.
What? Wait,
Hold
I'm
on.
gonna pull up my phone.
Is this a
I need
TV
to-
series?
He had a gangbanger heart, and it took over him, and he became. No, I think it was a plot in a movie.
Year Without a Santa Claus.
No, it's I know what it is. It's Flubber.
Flubber. I was gonna say Flubber.
Yeah.
I was gonna
exactly.
say Flubber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Jack.
Jack. Yeah. R.I.P. Robert Williams.
Robin.
Robbins.
Robert.
Oh, okay.
You gotta figure it out?
It's called Heart Condition. It stars Denzel Washington.
Oh.
What a
Bob
name!
Hoskins.
What a name!
Yeah. He stars as Napoleon Stone.
Oh.
Very, very, very top
So,
time.
do you know?
Oh, it's Bob Hoskins. Okay. So
Yeah.
I guess you could confuse that with Danny.
Robert.
Danny,
Robert. Yeah.
But we go back.
No, I think it was
He's
Flubber.
dead.
Actually, I think you're wrong.
yeah.
Now, do you know? Legitimate question. What happens to your old heart?
Yeah. Oh, the old one. I
They
don't
just throw in the
know.
trash.
They
Yeah,
just
I
toss
think-
it,
Stomp it.
burn it.
Yeah, I do
I'd
think
step
it
on
gets,
it.
I mean, they
Sell
might
it.
they might have
Good
saved
squish.
it for like maybe
Parts.
maybe like a
Save it for
Like-
parts.
Yeah, parts.
yeah
Probably.
yeah.
They put in the heart
Didn't put it in
junkyard.
like a
heart-
canopic jar.
So yeah, there
give it
was.
back.
Oh, I
to
know
New
what they
Jersey.
do. They sell on eBay. Like, remember when they sold like ghosts in a jar? They're gonna
Yeah.
sell a heart in a
Give
jar.
it back to New
That's what they
Jersey.
do. That's how that.
I
That's
would
how
have
heart.
asked. I
That's
would
how
have. I would
hospitals
have
get
asked
money.
for them to mummify and put it in a canopic jar.
Shane learned the word canopic.
No, I watch a lot of.
You should learn a new word every day.
Canopic.
I watch a lot of ancient Egypt shit.
Oh, do you?
I do.
Yeah.
Is that
cool.
was those the little jars?
Fascinates me.
With were those the jars with little
Yeah,
heads
when
on
they-
it when they
yeah.
collect
Yeah,
the
and
souls?
they don't collect their souls. They just put all their organs. in
Yeah,
it.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
Imhotep has to come get it.
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that. I don't know. But I actually,
You know the
I was
mummy.
telling
Mummy,
Brandon
yeah.
Fraser.
Movie.
The
Brendan
mommy.
Fraser.
it's
Classic
Brendan
Fraser.
Fraser.
Fraser. Hey.
Frazier.
It's
Frazier.
It's Frazier.
And
I heard him say it. He said Fraser.
I think he's wrong.
Oh, no, but I was telling Cal about this earlier. I was watching one the other day, and they explored a tomb that had never been explored before, and they were all excited. They're like, "Oh, we found a mummy!" Blah blah. They're getting into it, and they're like, they just brushed it aside because he was poor. They go, "Oh, this guy was poor." Imagine dying. Imagine being poor, and then you die.
Yeah.
And then 5,000 years later, they dig your body up and still roast you for being poor.
Bitch.
Dude, this didn't happen. This guy, fuck this guy. He didn't even have a Nintendo
They
Switch.
got excited that they found his fucking tomb, and then they just go,
Another dud.
nah, this guy's, he was poor. Just they go to a different one.
Another servant,
junk.
guys.
Nothing
Fuck
good.
this guy.
Nothing good to find
Look
here.
at his shoes. He's wearing Skechers.
There's no canopic jars in this one.
They left his organs in the body. They let him rot.
Yeah.
So no, back to the point. I have no problem with turtles. Never had an issue with turtles.
That's good.
No. So when you found out that you had a heart, how long after you found out you were getting it to when you got it?
Oh, like 6 hours probably.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What were you doing when you found out?
I was working. It was like a work day.
What were you doing for work?
Oh, so I worked for I've been working for hospitals, and now I work.
Oh, so you just go upstairs?
Yeah.
Hey, can you come up here real quick? We got some good news for
We
you.
got something for you.
We got a new hat for you.
Hey, open that lunchbox real quick. Yeah, isn't that nice? That's your new heart.
Yeah, that's your new one, buddy.
We're gonna have to
Yeah.
cut your break 15 minutes short. You just come upstairs.
Yeah, it's real quick.
Was
Yeah,
it in the
so
same
you'll be
hospital
back
you're
in work.
working in?
No, so this wasn't. I did receive a lot of like healthcare through the hospital I worked at, but no, this was something else.
Okay.
This is a different hospital. 'Cause I
better
got
one?
that heart transplant in Newark, New Jersey.
But you got transplanted in Jersey?
Yeah, and I had to live down there for a little bit afterwards.
Oh.
Yeah.
And you lived there for the heart? Was it kind of like part of the plan, or
So I was able to live still in my home in Mass and commute.
to work?
No. So I was living and working in Massachusetts, and like once a month I'd go down for treatment at this other hospital in New Jersey. And then they gave me a call because I was working from home that day, and they said, "Hey, where are you? Like, you up?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, like ready to go." And so then they called me and I drove down there.
Oh my god! By yourself?
No, my mom and I drove down.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Were
then
you in
my
the passenger
family
seat?
went down. I was.
Yeah, because I don't think I'd
No,
drive.
he's in the trunk.
I don't know. I'd be nervous about driving. I don't know if he physically.
It was like, I understood you, Jay.
Yeah, he got me.
I understood
Thank you.
Yeah.
Were you nervous?
You know, I don't think I was. I think I just like had resigned myself. I was like, whatever happens, happens. Hopefully it works. And
Was
it's
your
all
heart
good.
racing?
How much more time do I have to be here?
We're wrapping up soon. Don't worry. You'll be home soon.
Did you? So you were basically at that point. I mean, like, so it's been like 10 years then.
Yeah.
Now it's been 10 years, and you're just kind of probably over it. You're
Yeah,
fuck it.
like definitely more excited than nervous. I was like, fuck yeah, this is happening. But I was also like, I was very much just like, fuck it. I was like, listen, nothing I can do about this now.
Yeah.
I mean, I could say no, but I'm not going to do that. So it's out of my hands. I'm going to go down there. I'm going to get this thing, and it's going to be great.
What
And
were
it's good.
your odds of like survival if you didn't do it versus when you got it?
If I did not do this, I probably would have been gone by now. Yeah, for sure.
Like today.
Today.
Yeah, but
today.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because that robotic heart is not meant to like people like depends on the situation,
Yeah.
but for a young person, it's not meant to like last for decades and like
Right.
It was definitely like just like a treatment
Wait.
solution.
I thought they took it out. Didn't they take it out? Or it was still in you at this point?
It was still in me at that point. They popped out the robot and my heart, and they popped in the new one. All in one
How
go.
long was
One
that surgery?
bang.
I think it was like it was at least 10 hours. I think it was like a long one.
And when you woke, I mean, obviously it's a little different when you're waking up being, sedated, but did you feel anything? Did you feel different? Did it feel anything physical?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, obviously you feel better.
Yeah. So like the recovery, and actually kind of going back to what we were saying before we
was
started
heartburn.
rolling was I had really bad heartburn.
It was
believe it or
heartburn
not.
all along.
Yeah.
All it is.
Turns out all you needed was a couple Tums.
He was
We
right.
fucked up.
The first doctor was right.
So I was a vegan going into the surgery at the time. I had been like pretty solidly vegan for a while.
You guys listening to that? You guys hear that out there? Veganism.
You need a new heart.
Yeah. Well. So come to find out, after you go through a massive surgery like that, your body just chews up protein to heal you.
Yeah.
And so like a post-surgical diet is like loaded with protein.
Right.
And like the kitchen at that hospital had no idea what to do with me. They had nothing. They had
because
nothing.
you had said you were vegan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and like my doctors and the nutritionists down there were like, oh, that's awesome. That's great for you. Great for your body. Cool. And I was like, great. But then they were like, we have bread. And I was like, oh, shit. Okay, so I guess I'll go to vegetarian.
Yeah.
And so like, okay, we have eggplant parm. And I was like, oh, that was good. So it got to a point where I was like actually slowing down my recovery because I just wasn't getting the nutrients I needed.
Right.
So I ended up being like, just fuck it, give me what you got. And so after I got my heart transplant, something else about that pump is that
We
it
got
actually,
a bunch of old hearts. If you
yeah, just
wanna
shout
eat
out
your old
those.
one?
Yeah. I mean,
fry
like,
up
is that? I mean, it's not another animal.
You
It's
fry
just
up your
another
old heart.
person.
Technically, just you.
Yeah,
it was big. I mean, there's a
Yeah,
lot.
it was big.
edible.
It was beefy. Yeah, it's edible. I mean, you can eat it.
It's not breaking
Yeah.
veg. If
I
it's
wouldn't
your
recommend
own.
eating the robot
Yeah.
heart though.
Yeah,
It's
no.
a
That
little
one's
tough.
full of metal.
Yeah. They turn their hearts into pork cracklings. It's lovely. Yeah.
You're not breaking it if it's your own.
Yeah, there you go. So,
So this was in Jersey too, right?
yeah, this was in Jersey, and I do love Jersey.
We got garbage. You want? you want garbage?
Oh boy, yeah, and it was in Newark, and it was a rough. That's a rough city. And so they just they couldn't do a whole lot with me from a diet perspective. So I was like, all right, I'll just eat protein, or eat like meat protein, which was ended up. I still do that to this day.
Well, you can't get protein without meat, but
You
it's fine.
can, but not
in
they
a
couldn't-
hospital in New
yeah,
Jersey.
they couldn't give it to me,
And they didn't have like Impossible.
Yeah.
no
Really back
Right.
then.
Or
Well, they
like-
called Pauly D, and then he had some protein shakes for him.
Yeah, whey.
Yeah.
What was that like being on the cast of? The
You know,
Jersey Shore?
it was great. I loved the haircuts. Yeah.
So you broke veg.
So I broke veg, and so because when I had that heart pump, it actually doesn't pump. It doesn't go boom, boom, boom. It just whirs. It's like a motor that just runs. So
Also, for like years, you've been whirring.
I've been whirring.
Yeah.
I've been
Wait,
whirring
did you
and
not have a
worrying.
pulse?
Had no pulse. Oh. In fact,
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, no pulse. And when I would go to bed at night, in my ears, I heard the motor of my heart rate. Yeah, actually,
Don't like it. Don't
yeah.
like it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. This is a great. Yeah, this is a great sound effects board that Cal has got. It's gonna be. It's
that's
really
all for me.
fantastic. Yeah.
Yikes.
So
my God.
so yeah, for sure. So because of that, like all of like the microscopic muscles in my body ended up atrophying because they weren't constantly doing this. So when they dropped a healthy heart in me, they're like, oh, and so it took me like a while for my body to be like accustomed to being like a regular body.
Yeah, so now, how long did it take to just be able to drive everywhere, get a job, like go back to like living your life normally?
Yeah, 6 months.
6 months.
Yeah, 6 months, and
That's
after
actually not.
it's
that long.
I was in the hospital for 2 weeks. They kick you out.
Did you have like as soon as you woke up though? Did you feel the sensation of the pulsating?
Oh yeah, for sure. I felt it like in my hands. It was like I was like,
Like Thanos.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah, like Thanos. Thanos.
Yeah.
Thanos.
Like when he puts the little.
Yeah, Thanos.
You know
Thanos.
the purple guy, when
Huh.
he puts the final rock in his mitten.
Yeah,
Thanos.
Is that what it was like? When he
Yeah,
has the final
Thanos.
rock in the mitten.
Yeah.
What does he say? Now I can fucking.
It's
So
like,
I don't know.
inevitable.
I'm assuming you're saying it incorrectly.
Yeah,
Yeah, Thanos.
Thanos.
It's Thanos.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, just much like Crane.
Yeah, we can cut this out. We can cut this out.
Oh no, we're keeping it in.
Am I saying it wrong?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I've never even seen the movie.
And you
don't apologize. That's not good.
Don't
podcasting.
apologize. Don't.
I'm not.
You're a man with a podcast. You
just
don't have to
apologize.
apologize for
You just
anything.
apologize.
Yes, he does.
for saying. How is it? Thanos?
Now I can't. Now I don't
Now
know.
I'm
How
just
do you
thaking
say
of
it?
Thanos.
Yeah, now
Thanos.
Thanos?
Thermos.
It's Thermos.
Thermos.
Thanos?
Thank you.
Thanos?
I don't know.
I call it
anymore.
a fucking mitten. I don't even know what that fucking the
We-
gold glove he had.
Yeah, we
Infinity
shoot-
Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Oh, that-
Gauntlet.
Mitten.
Fucking gauntlet.
I call it a Minton.
a gauntlet. You know, right? A
Yes,
fucking glove. It's like, can you just go out with two? You only got one gauntlet?
It's one.
What if you have two? You have two hands.
You don't need two.
You got two hands.
You know
Can't
what that
walk out
other?
with two
You know what that other
gauntlets?
hand's for?
What?
You know.
Whacking.
Hey, Hey-o.
Jorkin the hog.
I haven't seen. I'm not in the universe. I'm not really.
Me neither.
I'm not really engaged.
That's good.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were all in the fucking
No, I
Marvel
just
universe.
listened.
You're all
I've never seen a single.
Thanos. Fucking Thanos.
I've seen him.
Sorry, I'm not lying. I've seen one superhero
You know what?
movie.
You should watch them all.
I've seen The Dark Knight. and
you
That's
should watch
not
'em all.
Marvel.
No. I said superhero.
Oh.
You
In general,
scoffed.
I've only seen
You
one.
scoffed when I said
'Cause I
Thanos.
know you said it wrong.
Yeah, well, essentially.
Regardless, I'm
I
on
think
the
you were
I'm
just
on the
actually-
internet. I'm on the
Essentially
internet.
Thanos, yeah.
I'm on the internet.
Essentially, if you're
Well, if you knew
anything about the Marvel universe, you know that Thanos.
Yeah, Stan Lee. So
He's here. Actually, we brought him
So
back.
you felt a pulsating.
Yeah, I felt it in my
throb.
hands. Yeah, I felt it. Yeah, I felt a big old throb.
Were boners
That was
affected?
my next question.
Were boners
Yeah,
affected?
so I don't remember. There have been so many since then.
You probably weren't really thinking about that either. That
No,
you kind of just
yeah.
waiting to, like, live,
well, because
survive.
I had the old catheter right up my
No.
pee-hole.
I'm saying when
Oh,
you
the whole
had
time?
no when you were worrying.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. No,
yeah.
when I was worrying, it still happened. Actually,
Mechanical boners.
Speaking of penises, which is finally we're actually getting into the good
We're
podcast.
really
stuff.
digging into it. Yeah.
So, oh boy, I am saying some stuff out loud, which I'm
No,
kind of
let's talk
forgetting that.
No,
That's all right.
no,
you
it's
know,
fine.
it's near the end of the episode,
All right,
and
cool.
you can
So,
you can talk cocks.
So,
it's okay.
so basically,
Cock talk.
when
Cock talk with the picnic.
when you're wearing.
when I after I got my heart transplant, so a big problem with cardiac conditions is you retain a lot of fluid because your heart can't pump it out the right way.
But wasn't that your problem to begin with?
Yeah, to begin with, my heart was not pumping well, so fluid started to collect. Actually,
pump it
the
up.
first time I went into the hospital, I lost like 40 pounds in 2 weeks because they put me on a bunch of medication that flushed all of this fluid that I was hanging on to out of my system. So after I got my heart transplant, I was hanging on to some fluid because they also do pump a bunch of fluid in you for reasons.
Right.
And so as it was like filtering its way out of my body, gravity caused a lot of fluid to go to like my horn.
Yeah.
And I actually got scared because suddenly it was like swollen and it looked like an elephant trunk.
Like water balloon.
Fuck
yeah,
dude.
yeah. Yeah.
Big honking dick.
it was
Nice.
It was not cool. And I like looked down and I was like,
Sounds kind of sick.
something's wrong. So
I got a big
so they basically they're like, okay, that's okay, it's all right. Kind of weird that it's going on right there, but like there was like so much fluid. It wasn't like
Did you look at the nurse and go,
wow. Hey.
check that out? Yeah. Joe, take a look at that.
This thing was
Talking
whirring
about
and
it.
now it's throbbing.
talking about a
it's
rush of
stirring.
blood. But it wasn't like it was just going to like the skin around it, so we're just hanging off. It was
Oh, all right.
Oh,
never
oh
mind.
yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
So
sorry
it's
to
like
disappoint
forced.
you.
You just got your forehead
Ew,
back.
dude.
I don't know if
Sorry,
you
yeah,
lost
sorry
it
to
before.
disappoint
So like
you.
a
and,
half full
the-
water balloon.
The
just-
two female viewers of this
You got
podcast.
a double non-circumcised. You just had like extra turtleneck hanging
Yeah,
down.
yes, exactly.
Oh, concerning.
Exactly.
And Jay hates turtles. We all know.
You were basically you were the
Continuity.
Jay wants all the head.
You were
Yeah.
the sandworm from Dune.
Yeah. I was Shai Khuludin down there,
Yeah,
bad.
thank
Yeah, for
damn,
sure,
damn.
big time. And so they had to, they were like, okay, well, you need to elevate your unit when you sleep. I don't know why I can't say penis.
You can say penis. You
I
can
don't know
say
why
dick,
I'm having a hard time
cock,
doing it.
I elevate mine every time I sleep.
Schlong, schlong, dong.
And I was like, well, how do I do that? Do I have to sleep like upside down? And they were like, no, you just like put a roll of a towel underneath. And so and things ended up working out.
okay.
But it was
Cock ring.
yeah. Good, Jay. Yeah, cock ring.
Yes, Jay.
Yeah.
That's what I would have said.
Cock ring.
Elevate the penis.
Yeah. So yeah.
Don't make that a clip.
Mine's always.
But so I kind of said earlier that like this kind of influenced my music because I mean
cock rock. Yeah.
live podcast things just go tumbling. But I've been playing music ever since then. And has kind of always been my escape. So I'm still playing in bands. The main thing I do now, as strangely as it is to say nowadays, I'm in a wedding band.
Nice.
Yeah. So we rip a lot of gigs, but I'm also in this awesome band kind of based in Rhode Island, Providence, called MOBCANDY with my very good friend Kayum, and he was also just like a dope dude to have around when I was feeling sick, funny guy. I've been very lucky that I have a lot of really awesome people in my life.
That's great.
And,
I have this fucking interview.
What do you play?
yeah, I play bass.
Cal's great though.
Oh, nice.
Bass.
Very cool,
I played the bass,
Yeah.
and I do try to sing. I'm not as good as Calhoun over there.
Jason's also a vocalist.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's no big deal.
yeah, really. It's
It's not a big deal.
It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah, but yeah, and also going back to like when I had the heart pump, it was a loud pump. Like if it were silent in a room, people could hear it.
Oh.
But the pickups of my bass would pick up the sound and blast it through my speakers.
Wow.
And I was like,
Sample that.
I was a sound guy's worst nightmare. Actually, it was sampled.
I was gonna say, did you say? Yeah, absolutely.
So we sampled it in some.
I put my heart into this one.
Yeah, I
Come on, though.
there you go. That was good. I like that. That was nice. That was nice. But I actually Brendan Brown from the Receiving of Sirens had a podcast for a short minute, and I did his podcast, and he actually took all samples from my heart, and he started doing his Brilliant Mind like
sick.
trios thing with it.
And
And
he made a song?
Oh, say again?
He made it into a song?
Yeah, he kind of made it into the thematic music for that episode of the podcast. But I played in a band back in the 2010s with a bunch of my friends, Vinny Rapolo, who was in a band called Auburn. I don't know if you guys remember Auburn. They were sick. And we actually ended up like having like a lot of those like feedbacky, really angry notes. We were in kind of like a Deftonesy, like alt rock, like
Low
90s some rock
BPM.
band. Yeah, very low BPM.
No, what?
No, I made a face. That was it.
Okay, fine. Go on.
So yeah, it's definitely played a part in some musical ambitions for me.
That's sick, man.
How did you know, because I know we got to wrap it up here, but how did you know about the donor?
Oh yeah. So really, the only things I knew about the donor was that he died in Maryland, and that he did not have drugs in his system. Those are
the only two facts you know about him?
That's the only things I know about him. And I could so like obviously there's there's privacy laws that you have to be really careful about, and this family have lost a loved one. So I could and I might someday, I don't know why I haven't done it, but you can actually send a relatively generic letter to the organization that manages all of this.
Oh, and you get to respond to the family.
And yeah. And so I haven't heard from them. They could also do the same thing to me. So that's all I know. But I know he was a few years younger than me.
Well, we have him here today. Come on in.
Drag him in.
Jesus.
You got bumped up on a lid. That was bad. Sorry.
Fuck.
Great. Yeah, but yeah. So it's.
So you don't really know much about him at all.
I don't know much about him at all.
No name?
No name, no nothing.
He was younger and didn't do drugs.
He was younger and didn't do drugs.
Sounds
because,
like a very sad story, though.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Don't blame you for
it's-
not
I think
It's a sad
regardless, it sounds like a sad story.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, and
Well, if it was like, if he was a junkie.
Oh, yeah.
You were a junkie.
I don't think they'd want that.
It's
hard.
all in the eyes. Shit him.
oh yeah, and that's something like I became sober.
Nice.
As part of this, it wasn't like it was something that like I had started to take too many liberties with. When my doctor said I could have like a couple drinks out with friends, I took that to too much of an extreme, and then my doctor was like, "Hey, you should probably just stop." And I was like, "Okay, I'm just gonna stop." And so I don't want to say that like, I had to work a program or anything like that. I don't want to like take over that space from other people who have gotten sober and their like really harrowing journeys to do that. But I definitely like made that decision very consciously, and it was hard. I was in my 20s, a kid with all my other friends are not sober, and so there was just like a lot of I had to grow up really fast when I was in my 20s.
Well, I'm glad you made it.
Thanks, buddy.
I'm glad you're here.
Me too.
Glad it all worked out. That's a crazy story.
Yeah,
It's a
and
wild
it's
story.
and it's kind of like the whole time I was like, I need to do podcasts. This is what this is my calling. I need to join picnic table podcasts. Because there's so many of them.
And we're
Well, there's so many picnic tables out there.
Yeah, there's so many picnic tables out
you gotta
there.
tell your story at the
Not
table.
enough podcasts.
No, not
Not
at all.
enough. Not
Especially like
No one has
like
them.
podcasts by by white guys.
By
like,
two white guys.
Yeah, you
crazy.
we're so underrepresented in the
Right.
world.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
There's so many
It's
picnic
true.
tables
It's a struggle out here.
Nobody
Yeah.
listens to us either.
in the
It's a struggle.
room.
Yeah,
It's a struggle.
yeah.
Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you
Thank
for that
you guys.
story.
Very
That was
for
a good.
joining us. It was
Yeah,
good.
Wow,
that
you
was
guys-
like a good episode.
You guys almost like unison talked.
We
there.
did.
It was kinda
Yeah,
cool.
that
We
fucked
did.
with me.
It's very
I was
special.
like, oh boy,
We did.
am I having
We
another
always
stroke?
We
do
did.
that.
We
Finish
finish
each other's sentences.
Yeah,
oh my
dude.
god.
That's what we always do.
We all do.
I'm putting restraining orders against
So
everybody in
against
this room.
everybody.
after
That's
this.
fine. That's probably
That-
you know
that
what?
makes sense.
The lawyer's already here.
Good, great.
We already assumed so.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right.
Thank
well,
you.
thank you.
Thank you guys. Thanks for having me.
Here's some of your music.
Yeah. Oh.
Is it?
Well, yeah, it'll be there in post.
Oh, cool.
No,
We're
playing it right now.
We're listening
Wow.
to
Oh
it.
yeah, this is a great.
Wow,
Shh,
love
we're
this
listening to
part.
it. This is the best part right here.
Quiet.
Stuck in a bad dream. Not sure if you're real, but I'm trying to get healthy, baby. And when I wake up, are we gonna fuck or nah? Or nah? Or nah? I'd never lie to you, 'cause you're my one true love. With me you'd never cry. Without you I'm gonna die. You got them deep cups, won't even wrap up. Oh no, 'cause you're really special, baby. And if you liked me, or if you like me back, prevent a fucking heart attack, maybe.